You have surely fallen from somewhere, hitting yourself hard. That obviously, the height from which you fall is an important factor that can indicate the damage someone can cause to themselves. In fact, if you fall from a height of 60 meters or more, you reach the human terminal velocity, which is around 200 kilometers per hour. This means that from 60 meters onwards, height no longer matters. That is, you can fall from 500 meters and your speed will still be 200 kilometers per hour because of the effect of the air. But even so, there are people who have survived. Now, from what height is there no way to get out alive? Today, we are going to go up level by level, from a simple stumble to a fall impossible to survive, always under the best possible conditions: relaxed body, good position, and optimal cushioning. This video is purely informative and with a scientific focus. It does not seek to glorify or encourage dangerous behaviors, only to explore our limits. Level 1, 0.5 meters. This can happen from a knee stumble. Falling from half a meter sounds ridiculous, but it is the type of fall that we have all had. You trip over the bed leg or a poorly placed step. Consequences: a scrape, a nervous giggle, or a direct hit on the shin that makes you see stars. At this point, your body barely generates kinetic energy. It's like dropping a tennis ball. It bounces, but doesn't break. Level 2, 1 meter already starts to hurt. It's like standing on a chair and falling. In healthy adults, it is still tolerable, but if you fall on your side, you can break a wrist or an elbow. In older adults, there is more risk. A fall from this height can cause a hip fracture or a serious head injury. Here, one thing is already noticeable: the position when falling matters more than the height. Level 3, 2 meters. From here, the falls are already felt in the bones. Imagine standing on a fridge and letting yourself fall. There is a real risk of breaking an ankle, ribs, even the pelvis if you don't land properly. You can still survive perfectly, but you are going to regret not having warmed up before. A curious fact is that in several sports like parkour or free running, 2 meters is the standard practice height. Athletes learn to fall by rolling to dissipate the energy. Level 4, 3 meters. From here, the body no longer absorbs the impact as well. It starts to be common for internal injuries to occur, ranging from a pulmonary contusion to small abdominal hemorrhages. If you fall on your back, you can damage your spine. Many workplace accidents happen exactly in this range. People who fall from ladders or medium structures. Level 5, 5 meters. If you have ever climbed a tree or a rooftop to rescue a ball, this is your level. From 5 meters, even with a controlled fall, there is a real risk of spinal fracture, broken ribs, and brain injuries if you hit your head. In fact, in several trauma studies, this height marks the transition between moderate and potentially fatal injuries. Survive, yes, but intact, unlikely. Level 6, 10 meters. Now yes, we enter serious terrain. Falling from 10 meters, your body impacts at about 50 kilometers per hour. It's like crashing into a concrete wall on a bicycle without a helmet, with your whole body. The type of injuries includes multiple fractures in the extremities, chest damage, liver injuries, and even spleen rupture. There are cases of survival, but almost always with permanent loss of mobility or multiple surgeries. Level 7, 15 meters. Here, most of the statistics already speak of mortality. If you fall badly on your head or back, it is very unlikely that you will survive. If you fall on your feet, you might, but the legs behave like columns that collapse. The femur can break and push the pelvis toward the vital organs. Estimated impact: 65 kilometers per hour. Level 8, 25 meters. This would be like being on top of an 8-story building. From this height, the body impacts at almost 80 kilometers per hour. There is total collapse of the thoracic system, rupture of large blood vessels, and brain damage due to sudden deceleration. In trauma medicine, a fracture is considered lethal, where only very exceptional cases survive, and always with immediate intervention. Level 9, 45 meters. Here, survival depends 100% on the environment. There are only cases of survival when the fall was slowed by branches, deep snow, or dense mud. For example, in Canada, a skier fell 40 meters down a ravine and survived because he landed on a bank of fresh snow, completely loose and relaxed. Level 10, 60 meters. Here you reach terminal velocity. You no longer accelerate. Your body falls at a constant speed, and what changes is the fall time, not the intensity of the impact. It doesn't matter anymore if you fall from 60 meters or from a skyscraper, the impact will be the same. The only thing that can save you is a terrain that absorbs energy gradually. As I said, branches, snow, or a giant bed. There's a case of a person who fell from more than 10,000 meters high. The case of Besna Bulubic. In 1972, Besna, a Serbian flight attendant, was the only survivor of an in-flight explosion. She fell more than 10,000 meters inside the fuselage of the plane over a snowy slope. Her body was unconscious, which helped her not tense up upon impact. She had multiple fractures, but she lived perfectly. It's not a level, it's a miracle. So, from what height can you fall without dying? With luck, technique, and ideal conditions, up to 20 or even 30 meters could be possible. But most of the time, your body does not forgive mistakes greater than 10 meters. Remember that I'm not promoting any kind of risky behavior. Science studies the limits of the body, but it also seeks to protect them. And from what height have you all fallen? I'll read you in the comments.